Hello and welcome back to the Cock Dice. We're back with another Perilous tale, and this week Butch Sullivan and the Ghost are venturing in to the Lost World. An ancient and forgotten kingdom full of dangers, and this will be the first in a multi-part story which I'll be filming over the next couple of weeks. So as you can see, I have the table set up for tonight's game. We are playing version 3 of the beta rules. Deployment wise, I've gone for the encircling deployment, as I kind of like it. Butch & Co are set up at the far end of the board. The 3 objectives for tonight's game are escape, hunt the fiends and recover equipment. And our threats are going to be raging storm, struck by lightning and booming skies. The markers for tonight's game have been kindly provided by Tabletop Battlezone, and you can find their link in the description below. And tonight I'm bringing along the same heroes again as last week. I think it works so well having 2 heroes with 2 sidekicks. I thought I'd try it out again with a different scenario, see if it still works as well, and if there's any benefits or not against having a kind of regular team of 1 hero and 4 teammates. So as we did last week, we've got Ginger on the side, who's our medic here. We've got Butch, who's got Tough Guy and Crazed, and I'll actually remember the Tough Guy this week, hopefully. We've got the Panther. So as I did last week, he is a teammate, but I've ditched his ability to shoot and given him 2 skills, where he has Brute for +3 skill in fighting and Nippy for 6-inch movement. And finally we have the Ghost here. He's got Crack Shot to represent his 2 pistols, and Sneaky, which allows him to duck and dive around the board a little bit and avoid those threat markers. And their opponents for this week are the denizens of the Lost World. What are these guys, I hear you ask? Well, actually, this is a bunch of werewolves. It's as simple as that. I'm going to reskin the werewolves to be lizard folk. So we have the main wolfman on this side. I've got 2 of the young wolves, mainly because of the spawning an extra werewolf rule. I found I didn't have an extra one last time, so I've printed an extra one out. That's it. And then I have these kind of 3 joggy triceratopsy things, which will be my wolves for tonight's game. Now, I know it's not been that long ago since I did the wolf game. I think it's 5 or so episodes ago. But the abilities these guys have changed quite significantly in the most recent set of the rules. So I'll just quickly walk you through what each of them does. So we've got the Wolfman, or werewolf here. Master Aggressive, 12 wounds, skill 7. He's got Frenzy, so he can essentially jump from one hero to another one and keep making attacks. Full Moon, so this is where he follows a marked hero. That's how he generates extra young werewolf minions. Red Vigour, so if he kills a hero, he heals, he gains 3 wounds. And Scent of Blood, if this model targets a wounded hero with an attack action, it gets +1 skill. So he's quite a mean beastie. These 2 will be the young werewolves, so they're minions, aggressive, 6 wounds, skill 4. Again, they've got the Full Moon ability, so it's a lot less likely that I'll make any more werewolves than the previous rules, but it's going to be bad if it happens. Again, they've got the Red Vigour rule, so although they've got 6 wounds, I'm going to have to finish them off quite rapidly. And again, they have the Scent of Blood, so they +1 skill. And then these 3 at the 4, I can't even count now. These 4 at the front here are Proxy Wolves, so they're minions, pack hunters, 4 wounds each and skill 3. They also have the Scent of Blood ability, so again get +1 skill if they make an attack action on a wounded hero. So tonight's tactic is going to be don't get wounded, and all shall be okay. So let's get on to the game. Okay, so I think we will start with the Ghost in tonight's game. We'll make use of his ability to be sneaky, and he can move around this side of the board. He's going to make a move action to here, at which point he'll have to take his first sneaky test. So he is skill 4. He's going to test against this marker just down here. He rolls difficulty of 6 and gets easy success, 8 9s, 8, 9 and 6, so 3 successes there. So he makes that, and for his third action he's going to come slightly further forward and make another test. You're within 6 of this one, so we're going to have to make 2 tests now. Oh, he's just disappeared off the board. It's just here. So the first of his tests. Here he gets difficulty 1 and successes succeeds on that with no problems. And again he gets a difficulty of 1. So that was a pretty easy start for him compared to last week. That's lucky he's getting himself up the board. So one of tonight's objectives is escape, so I'm going to have to really get forward quite rapidly, because otherwise I get caught out like I did in some of the previous games. We'll use the panther next. He's going to come jogging forward. We need to stay outside of 6, so he's going to just jog up to there. Of course, the panther isn't armed with any sort of ranged weapon. I should have probably gone on eyes peeled. Oh well, that's fine. Ginger will just move up to here 4 inches, and she will use eyes peeled as her second action. And Butch will move once. He'll use eyes peeled as his second action, and then I think I'm going to try and trigger 6 inches to there, outside of 6. I don't really want to trigger that many. Ginger's not got a great line of sight. She'll have to shoot through some of the terrain, so Butch is going to come and scoot on the edge of this and trigger these 2. Yep, so Butch is going to come here and he'll trigger this one, and there's another marker just off screen there. So the first marker we trigger for tonight's game is a number 3. That is a wolf, or in this case, a small dinosaur with horns. I have no idea what these things are called. They're awesome. I found them on Thingiverse and printed them out. They're basically like kind of raptors, but with I could call it a T-Rex. No, it's not a T-Rex. Triceratops horns. That's the one. Okay, so that spawns. It is. I'm just going to check it. It's a minion pack hunter. Okay, so that's fairly easy for wounds. Skill 3 doesn't have any special deployment, so that will ambush Butch. Now, Butch, of course, has eyes peeled. So he'll make a shot with disadvantage. He gets a difficulty of 8. However, he scores an 8, a 9 and a 10. So that is 4 successes. And that kills the beastie. That was relatively good. We'll activate this second marker down here as well. That is a number 7. That is struck by lightning. So Butch takes a skill 7 attack. It gets difficulty 10. It auto fails. Butch, you are the luckiest man alive tonight. The lightning thunders down and crackles round Butch's feet. He yelps. He's not damaged at all. So that ends our hero's turn. We'll move on to our villainous phase and we'll do a threat check. As always, it starts at threat level 1. With the advantage, we get a difficulty of 4. We have 4 members in the party. That's fine, and it failed, so there were no successes. That's a brilliant start. So that is simply +1 threat level, which takes it up to threat level of 2. So we move into our hero's second turn, and already we've got a couple of markers off. It's going well. I've just realised we've got a point for Hunt the Fiends as well. So I'll pop that down. That requires us to kill minions, and there's quite a lot of minions that can spawn in this. I think first of all we'll use Ginger. She'll make a move. Oh, hang on. No, I don't know how to do that. I need to get across this board pretty quick. Butch is going to move 4 to here. Staying outside of 6 of this one. He'll move another 4 up to here, and then he'll go on eyes peeled. He will use the eyes peeled skill. He's just hiding behind some rocks down here. I know, it's amazing you say, Butch, he does not hide, he faces danger. Unfortunately, he's hiding for the moment. We'll use Ginger next. She is simply going to walk forwards 4 inches there, staying outside of 6, and she will also use eyes peeled. I think the mist will just use eyes peeled and stay where he is. So he's going to have to take 2 tests for these 2 markers. So the first sneaky test, he gets difficulty of 2 and passes that with ease. And the second one, difficulty 3 and passes that one with ease. So we've got 3 characters with eyes peeled, and I think the Panther tonight is going to leap out 6 inches to here and trigger. Oh, what the heck, we'll trigger both those markers. So the first marker we flip, and it's number 4. Number 4 in tonight's game is another wolf. So we'll have a broken horned one, there we go, and that will appear there. We'll work that out first, so we'll fire with Butch down here first of all. 5 dice with disadvantage. This time he gets a difficulty of 9 and only gets a single success. So that pops a wound on it. Ginger will shoot next. 3 of those. She gets difficulty of 8, scores 2 more successes. And finally, the mist will have to shoot as well. He gets 5 dice, 6 dice. A waste of a shot on him. He gets a difficulty of 8 and he just scores a single success. That's just enough to kill that one. So I'll take that off and take that 4 off. And then we will flip this marker as well. That's number 1. That is the Wolfman, or in this case, the Lizard Man. So unfortunately, everybody has fired off their shots. The villain has appeared, so that will increase the threat level to 3. Or the master, sorry, he's not called villains anymore, are they? He has, I don't believe he's got any special deployment rules. Just have a quick look. Nope, there is no special deployment rules, so he will immediately bounce over here and straight into engagement with the Panther. That ends our hero's turn. We'll move on to the villainous phase and take a threat check with a threat level of 3. We roll a difficulty of 5, which is okay, and get 2 successes there. That'll be the Noose Titans, so all the markers move in an inch. This one moves an inch towards the nearest hero, and that will trigger. So we'll flip that one. Oh no, I can test not to trigger it, can't I? So I'll do a quick test for Ghost. He gets difficulty 2, so that still doesn't trigger. That's okay. And then we do Threatening Overtures, which increases it up to threat level of 4. Right then. So it is just the lizard. The Great Lizard Man. He is going to take a swing at our hero. Let's have a look at his rules. So he has Frenzy there. Luckily for me, is not another hero within 2 inches of him. Nobody yet is marked, and therefore that doesn't do anything. Okay, Red Vigor doesn't need to remove any wounds. Scent of Blood, he's not attacking a wounded hero. So it's just a straight attack from this guy. He is skill 7. However, the Panther is skill 5, so it's a minimum attack of 5. Minimum difficulty of 5. So we'll discard that 3 because it's actually a 5. We'll take that one away, that one away, that one away. And the Lizard Man comes away with 4 successes against the Panther and deals 4 damage. That is it. He is done. No other actions. So that ends our villainous phase and the end of the turn. We return to our heroes. So we are into a new turn and we are off with a little bit of trouble. We're going to start with, I think we'll start with the cat. Let's see what he can do. I've just put a little token next to him to mark him as marked, but he is going to take a great honking bite out of the Lizard Man. Kicking off with 5 skill. He is skill 7, so it's a minimum difficulty of 7. I roll a 1, that increases to a 7. I get a pair of 8s, that deals 2 damage to the lizard. That's his first action. Second action, he will do the same again. This time he gets a difficulty of 4, that increases to 7. He scores a single 10 for 2 more damage. Okay, moving on, we'll do Butch next. He doesn't really want to move backwards. He's going to move 4 inches towards it, which puts him just within an inch of it. And he will gain 2 attack actions. Skill 4. He rolls a 10 for his first attack and fluffs that. He'll attack again. This time rolling a difficulty of 5, that increases up to 7, and he fluffs his second attack and final action as well. Ginger is going to just move across here, and she will use Eyes Peeled in case anything ambushes or appears. And he can make a move and then attack it as well once. I might just have to pile everyone into it, I think. So we'll do that. We'll move once, 4 inches to there. We'll take a test for being sneaking around that marker. Difficulty 7 and easily passed. He'll make a second move to get him to within an inch. And the ghost with his final action will attack. So he is skill 4 as well. We get a difficulty of 4, that increases to 7. We get 3 more damage. That takes him up to 7 wounds so far. Not enough to kill him, as he has 12 wounds. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So with all our heroes activated, we'll move over to the villainous phase. It is currently threat level 4. Let's take a threat check. Get a pair of 5s for our difficulty. That's fine. We've got 4 members of the crew left. We get 1, 2 successes only. That is the Noose Titans once again. I'll just move these markers in very quickly. This now moves this way, and that one over here. I'll just jump over here somewhere. We only have 4 more threat markers to go. Oh, hang on. With that, this one triggers, and he will see if he can avoid it. Actually, I might just take it. No, let's try and avoid it. I'll activate it when I've got rid of the lizard man. Try and avoid it. He rolls a 3. He does get a single 7, so that's okay. It's not triggered. That's Noose Titans. And Threatening Overtures moves the threat level up to 5. With that, we'll move on to our villain's activation. We've only got a single villain on the table. That is the Lizard Man. He's going to attack the Panther, and this is not going to go well. So he's got a skill of 7. He is disadvantaged because he's in multiple combats. So we'll roll for that. He gets a difficulty of 9. Oh, what's his skill about? He gets +1 skills if we roll an extra dice for them. So there we go. So he actually has skill 8. With a roll at a disadvantage, we've got a difficulty of 9. He only rolls a single 9, so that only does 1 more damage to the Panther. He hasn't killed a hero, and therefore Frenzy does not come into effect. Nope, hang on, that's the wrong one. Frenzy. After making an attack with this model, if there is another hero within 2 inches of this model that is not yet attacked, push it 2 inches directly towards this model, then make another villainous attack action. So he moves over this side and will attack the mist first of all. So he's still disadvantaged. He hasn't got the extra dice because the mist hasn't been wounded yet. So it's a 7 dice attack. He gets a 10 for his difficulty. It's a crit fail, so no damage there to the mist. Frenzy, I would presume, triggers again, and he'll move 2 inches back this way towards Butch and attack Butch. He's still engaged also with the Panther, and so it's a 7 dice with the disadvantage. This time, unlucky for Butch, he rolls a difficulty of 5. Butch's skill is 4, so that is the difficulty level. We take the 1, a 2 away. He scores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits on Butch. Butch obviously negates one of those with Tough Guy and takes 5 damage and also becomes marked. So just pop another blank token on this side. Those two are both marked now. Okay, that ends our villainous phase. We will begin with our heroes and we'll begin with the Panther again. He's going to bite the Lizardman. He gets difficulty of 6, increased to 7 because of his skill, and he gets 3 successes there, so that takes him up to 10 damage so far. We'll attack him again. This time he gets difficulty of 9, only getting a single success. It's nudging up the damage to 11. Butch is going to fight next. He only has 4 skill. I should be rolling with the advantage, sorry. That becomes a difficulty of 4. That's 3 damage from Butch. That is enough to kill the lizard. So we will kill the master, take him off the board. We'll reduce the threat level down to 3. Pat each other on the back as a spiffingly good job. That's Butch's second action, wasn't it? Was it Butch's second action or his first action? It was his first action, so he's got 2 actions left. First of all, he's going to order Ginger to move into base contact with him. And then he's going to finally use Eyes Peeled as his last action. Okay, for Butch's final action, we're actually going to use Pep Talk to speak to Ginger, and that just gives her the advantage for her medic roll. Really want Butch to get some survivability here. That doesn't help her at all. Clearly, she doesn't like being told what to do by Butch and stabs him repeatedly with her needle whilst trying to stitch up his wounds. Finally, the mist will activate. He will use Eyes Peeled, and we're just going to, well, we use Eyes Peeled, that will trigger this marker. We'll flip that, it's a 2. He's not going to take a sneaky test. That spawns a little dinosaur that runs at him, and he takes aim with his skill of 5, +1 for shooting, and shoots it at disadvantage. He gets an 8, and he gets 3 successes only. I don't think that's enough to do anything. No, 3 successes, he deals 3 wounds to it, and it smashes into him with its rather pointed horns. Okay, that is our heroes all done for the phase. We'll move over to our villainous phase, and it is threat level 3 now. Let's make a threat check. So we get a difficulty of 1 for the threat check. That gives us 3 successes. That is Crawling Chaos. Each hero has to make a horror check. So we'll start with the ghost. He gets difficulty 3, scores a 9. We'll do Butcher's Immune. We'll do the Panther next. He gets difficulty 5, scores a 7, so he succeeds. And Ginger gets difficulty of 9 and scores a 1 and a 2, so she fails and she runs off 4 inches. There we go. Then we do Crawling Chaos. So this moves in 1 inch, this one moves in 1 inch, this one moves in 1 inch. Check the range on this one. That has come into range of Butch, so we will flip this marker. It's number 8. Number 8 is Booming Skies. When revealed, the revealer must pass a skill check or be immediately knocked down. This threat remains in play. Just put it down somewhere. On the table. So for Butch's unsteady underfoot check, he rolled a difficulty of 7 and he gets a 7, a 9, 10. So he gets loads of successes. He's fine. Okay. So we've done Crawling Chaos. We just need to do Threatening Overtures and move the threat level up to 4. And then we'll move on to the villainous activations. So the single dinosaur that's remaining is going to attack the ghost. It rolls difficulty of 6. It does score an 8 and scores a single wound on the ghost. who becomes marked. No, he doesn't become marked. It's only the werewolf and the young werewolf. And I've not spawned the young werewolf yet. She's over there then. Right. That's not awful. That's our villains completed. So I forgot, actually, he's also a lurker, so it will do the skulk move afterwards and disappear off 6 inches over this way, like that, towards the nearest unrevealed threat marker. And then it doesn't do the up to no good fallback action because it's not within an inch of the marker. So return to our heroes, and starting the turn is going to be Butch. He is going to order Ginger to move up again. For his first action, he will give her yet another pep talk and tell her how to stick him with a needle properly. And for his third action, he will use Eyes Peeled. Ginger will go next. She is going to make a medical check with the advantage. This time she gets a difficulty of 3, rolls a 10, a 3 and a 9 for 4 successes. That completely heals Butch of any damage. Next up, we will do the Ghost. He is going to take a shot at the dinosaur first of all. He is skill 4, +1 for his crack shot, +1 for shooting at the dinosaur. Minimum difficulty of 5. It is 5, so we've got loads of successes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. That is blown away and gives us a third Hunt the Fiends point. That's going well. I've just realised I've got to recover equipment as well. I've not done that yet. Oh no. So that's 1. 2, I think he will have to move. Where's 6 inches? Here. He can do that. He'll move to over here. He'll take an unsteady underfoot check. He's not marked, it's the Panther's marked. He'll make an unsteady underfoot check. Gets difficulty 4 and passes it with ease. With his third action, he's going to do an interact with this terrain marker and attempt to find some of the missing equipment. He gets difficulty of 8, scores a 9 and a single success there, which is enough for a piece of equipment, and this terrain piece has been checked. Finally, the Panther will go. It is going to scooch around here with its very quick movement, and it's going to have a sniff around in this piece of terrain over here for an equipment marker as well. It gets difficulty 6 and scores a pair of 6s. So we've got 2 equipment markers. That's good. That ends our heroes phase because there are no actions left to do. So we'll move on to the villainous phase. Beginning, of course, with a threat check. We are at threat level 4. We get a difficulty of 2, increased to 4 because we have 4 party members left. That gives us 2 successes. 2 successes is the Noose Titans as usual. So this one moves an inch to the nearest, 7 inches away. Oh. So that moves in an inch, and this one down here will reveal itself to be number 5. That is, I think, our final wolf. Yep, that is our final wolf down here. Just going to pounce on the Panther. We have Butch with Eyes Peeled, don't we? So I think he will take a shot first before we do anything else, because the other one's got to move as well yet. But you can't see that. So 5 dice with disadvantage. He gets difficulty of 6, scores a 6 and a 7 for only 2 damage onto that creature there. This other one over here will move an inch forward and be within an inch of the Ghost. He will take a sneaky check, see if he can avoid being spotted. He gets difficulty of 3 and scores multiple successes, so that's fine. He is okay. So that doesn't get flipped yet. Okay, and then we'll do threatening overtures and increase the threat level back up to threat level of 5. We're on to the villainous activations. We'll start with this little dinosaur to start with it. That's the only dinosaur on the table. It's going to have a quick nip at the Panther. It's got a skill of 3. It rolls a difficulty of 8, gets a single success. It's a wounded hero, should get an extra dice actually. Still only gets a single success, does 1 more wound to the Panther. That ends our villainous turn. We'll return to our heroes. I think this turn is going to go rather quickly, so we're going to start with the Panther down here fighting off. So we return to our hero's turn. We'll start with the Panther down here fighting off the little Triceratops beastie. It is skill 5, of course. Quick roll there, let's go. It gets a difficulty of 4, that's plenty. He scores a 7 and a 10. That is enough damage to take that off the table. Now we can't score any more Hunt the Fiends. But that's his first action. Second action, he is going to lollop forwards. He'll go, he wants to stay outside of 6 of that. Oh, he gets knocked down, he gets knocked down. I don't think it's bad. So we'll move 6 to there, and then he'll take a, let's try not to get knocked down test. Scores a 10, of course, and falls over. Limping along there. Butch is going to make a move action back to here and go on eyes peeled. Use eyes peeled. Ginger is also going to make a move action. I think we're just going to try and get out of dodge now. In fact, no, she'll make a single move action and use eyes peeled as well. And the ghost will move out of 6 inches of that threat marker and then stand right on the edge of the board down here. He must take Ginger needs to take an unsteady underfoot check. She passes it, and so does Butch. He fails it. So he would have failed it as his second action, so he can stand up as his third action, but he can't go on eyes peeled, and the ghost will take a check as well. He passes it, so he is on eyes peeled. So I've got Ginger and the ghost on with eyes peeled, and that's it. That's the end of our hero's turn, so I will change the camera and we'll come back with our villains. And we're into the villain's turn. It is threat level 5. Now the edge of the board is actually just along here, so the ghost is right on the edge of it. We are pretty much off next turn if nothing goes horrifically wrong. Threat 5, let's make a threat check. Okay, a pair of 8s, so I can't really move that. So we've got a single success. That is just Danu's Titans. This moves an inch towards our heroes, but our heroes are well outside of 6 inches of it. And we increase the threat level up to 6. We're going to play the sensible game here, and we're going to just do a runner off the board. So each of our heroes will simply move off the table. 2, 3, Panther will stand up and step off, and Ginger has plenty of movement to make a move action. She'll have to take a single falling over check. She makes her first move action. I think Butch, before he moves, oh no, because then he'll have to take one. What the heck. She gets difficulty of 5, scores a 10, doesn't trip over her heels as she makes a dash for the safety of this clearing over this side of the board. And that's it. That is the end of the game. That was a very quick run through tonight. I'm quite impressed with that. That's the first time I think I've really done escape and kept focused and just made a real run for it. Anyway, let's move on to some scoring. Whole party survived. That is 1 point. My leader is alive at the end of the game. That is 2 points. We killed 3 of the fiends. That is 3 points. That takes us up to 5. We escaped from the board. That's 1 point for each hero that escaped, up to a maximum of 3. So that's 3 more points. That takes us up to 8. And finally, we managed to recover 2 pieces of equipment, and it gives us 2 more. That takes us up to 10 points for tonight's game. And that is a truly heroic performance. That was a good one. Butch and friends have made it into safety and onto the next part of their adventure as they delve deeper into this forbidding lost world. As always, thank you very much for joining us here at the Cock Dice. Hope you enjoyed the game tonight. please subscribe to the channel, click the little button below and that will do that for you. And here's another couple of videos you might enjoy to while away your weekend. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Good night.